Coach Hoiberg, they both
were in the locker
room together, just chatting it up, talking about the tournament, how much they love being here, how much their players have reacted and loved it.
Baseline Meadow, nice burst on the baseline, double bump, and shoot, double team in the corner. Meadow down the lane, off the window, no, standing attack, and Meadow in 6 months will go out and shoot, and he won't miss a three-point shot, and he crushes me all the time. Meadow.
Closed out by the defenders for the Cornhuskers, so not easy looks. An opportunity attack by Bryce Williams, not able to go in.
Cardenas the other way, galloping into the front court. Hoiberg gets back on defense. Meadow. This Boise State offense now going side to side. You don't see it really cut.
Look at that. The timing is off, too.
Baseline, Meadow. Boom. They need it.
Yes.
74-59. They're 4 minutes and 40 seconds away from securing a $100,000 bag. Degenhardt. Meadow, rising fire. Count it. He's got 8. He needs one more bucket inside. Patton Mack goes up. Can't finish. Degenhardt with the rebound. Coach McCaffrey and Friend should be here. Cardenas inside Meadow to the cup, up and in.
Well, that's just a smart move.
Moore guarded by Meadow. King, 4 to shoot, lets it fly. A brick.
This is really good on ball defense that time by Boise State.
Meadow uses his body and banks it down. Degenhardt, Ugbo, and Meadow. Degenhardt looking inside for Ugbo. Dribble handoff. Meadow, 10 to shoot. Rise fire. Got it. Keen deep. Ugbo with a rebound and the new shot clock with 1 minute and 40 to go. Here in the second half. Cardenas, nice bounce pass. Meadow double pump and the reverse layup.
Time examples of it, no question.
Like we said, this is the first time they've gotten to 21 wins, and I think that was the Mike Jarvis team.
It was
15-16. They had 28 wins that year, if I recall correctly.
Of course, Mike Jarvis was the last coach to have great success in the NCAAs before Rick Pitino.
Again, the communication has been wonderful, and when you're a team that is comfortable with each other and you have most of your parts still together this time of year, it just makes it that much easier.
Degenhardt trying to play through contact and does. Meadow is wide open. I mean, that's just beautiful fun. That all starts with Degenhardt.
Yeah, they just couldn't come up with couldn't pay it off.
Eyes always up. Right there, Meadow. Eyes always up. Look for up.
And you understand players are going to make big plays, but Boise's offense and defense has been so impressive.
How about Meadow right there? Yeah. And the good news for Ramirez is he's in the scorebook. He comes away with a rebound out of the air. Meadow. Count it. Those strong drives to
touch yet because Crocker Johnson is working really hard to not let him catch. I told you about Ugbo, and he is on the floor now with Stanley going to the bench. Here is Ugbo. 17 points last night against New Mexico, a new career high. Shot clock winding down. The jumper is good for Andrew. More bid stealers. They're rooting hard for Boise State today, I can tell you that. Every bubble team is. And Meadow inside for... He's got 7. The double comes quickly. Meadow in the corner, busts through one and scores. He took a... Degenhardt, baseline drive. Cardenas, corner, Meadow, 3. That's not happening for Boise State tonight either. Meadow's just 1 of 7. 0 of 5 from 3. Cardenas, try it again. Got it.
He needed
A minute 8 left. Degenhart to Meadow. Tipped again. Cardenas saves it. Meadow. 3 on the way. Got it!
You cannot run the baseline because it's not after a made basket, so Keene has to be stationary.
Long throw. Meadow catch. Meadow dunk. Oh, goodness! Sophomore has been terrific this year. He can shoot the 3. Great defender. Degenhart to the floor. Meadow launches. Hits.
Good contest at the rim there from Degenhart. This has been the start that the Broncos needed.
The reason they're down only 3 is they are out-rebounding San Diego State, including 8 offensive boards. Cardenas whips it. Meadow shoots it. Got the 3.
Big who switched with an outstretched hand.
Compton dribbles it off his foot. Scramble for the ball. Still loose. Oh! Still loose. Keene to Meadow. To the lane. Bucket. Foul. Cardenas. It's a 3. And it's off, and Meadow has.
Handle. Carmichael leads the break. Tried to call his own number, and Meadow cleans up.
Just get him the ball. Every offense you run when you're in a rut, get it to your best player and let him find a way.
Alvaro Cardenas on his senior night playing with Stanley. Little 2-man game at the top. Now to the baseline. And one.
How about attack quick because they recover so nicely out of it.
Javen Buchanan comes up short, but collects his own.
There's a period for Boise State where their best offense was throw it at the rim and go get it. I mean, second chance points have been a real thing.
Meadow. Oh, look at the spectacle here. That was for my 5-year-old who needs a few more role models with the Rec Specs. Off front iron. Here comes Keene. Looking to extend a 4-point lead. To the trailing hot hand.
Dribbling.
Clifford beats the buzzer.
That's just silly.
He's got 7 of their 18. Javen Buchanan in the game for Leon Rice and the Broncos. Gets it back from Ugbo. Enos, the program record holder in assists. Now Buchanan out of the corner. Extra pass, Meadow to the baseline. Got the bump at the bucket.
And he brings your team value consistently.
1 out of 2 for the Rams at the line. We're knotted at 26. The Broncos surging in front with a 12-0 run in the middle of this half. Degenhart maintains the bounce. His point guard off his backside, and 8 to shoot. Cardenas, extra pass. Meadow. Bottoms.
3-point.
After forcing 2 misses.
Yeah, that's such a great defensive effort, but you must finish that possession with the rebound.
Cardenas is really playing with some fire today. He knows how important this game is for Boise State. And Meadow runs over Templin, but he's going to
on the floor and attack with no one between him and the paint. It's going to be tough to catch him.
So here is Carmichael now. Cardenas flips it to Meadow, denies the 3, goes to the basket, a lot of contact, no call, but he pushes inside.
If you're Boise State, you want to stop the ball a little bit earlier, because when these Utah State guards get a full head of steam, they're impossible to stop. And Boise State needs to get into their offense much quicker, try to get that ball in the high post of the short corner.
There's a nice 3 from the corner by in the game where you thought that Boise State was about to step on the gas. A momentum stalling foul right there from Buchanan, who's been excellent, but that was not a good foul.
Manor is named in honor of Raymond and Jean Conrad, who supported a project who led a $5 million gift in 23 to the Renowned Health Foundation. I think that's a great thing for all involved, and I'm glad that these people get this recognition.
Well, Meadow sets the screen for Cardenas. A step back check for Cardenas. Not quite. But Meadow again on the offensive glass.
It forces you to send another defender at him because of his size. That's going to open up looks on the perimeter, and Nick Davidson very capable of knocking down shots. 40% on the year, 39.6 rather.
Here's Meadow, still keeping his foot on the accelerator, and it's good again. Rollison, can he get going? That's a good look, just a tad bit long. It's only Rollison's 4th field goal attempt. Meadow trying to get back right, and he does. 3. Rollison, stop, start. Oh, that time, bad turnover there. And now Boise State's got numbers. Here's Meadow with a jam.
It's a lot easier to win 3 games in a row than it is 4. I know New Mexico did it last year behind Jalen House and Jamal Mashburn Jr. But to put yourself into best position to win, try to get that first day bye.
By the way, Terrence, both these teams more than capable of making a tournament run.
Absolutely.
Not West tournament, that is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's Meadow. Wow, time shot from Andrew. At the possession era. Here's Kobe Sanders. Oh! Away by Buchanan. Oh, no! Meadow going to the rack, and he slaps it down. Wow! Getting low. Here's another pick and roll. This time he pops this time. Not there, but flying in for the offensive rebound was Andrew Meadow.
Finish either hand. He can finish off 1 feet or 2 feet. That time, through a little bit of contact. Cardenas lucky to not get a foul called, though.
He did a terrific job on Cardenas at the pits. It was his worst game of the season. Back cut and a dunk.
Now
From Dent.
Great pass, even better finish. This crowd went silent in a hurry.
Boise State normally hangs their hat on defense, but today, offense. And they desperately need it after just 47 points on the road at San Diego State. Degenhardt, he's had like 4 different guys guard him already. Cardenas sears it over. Meadow, the 3. Blocks. The Broncos looking for a signature road win to help their NCAA resume. San Diego State trying to... as doing some damage on the boards. Long three is short, and the rebound to Ubo of Boise State.
San Diego State did a terrific job in that last possession of getting to their second and third option and moving the ball from side to side. Bird was able to get a good shot. They just didn't knock it down.
Both these teams are 9-4 in conference. Both these teams are at 53 and 46 in the net, and Meadow.
Trying to do it himself. Spins to his left hand. Short armed it again.
Boise State making it really difficult, going one-on-one. Defensively, Boise State's doing an excellent job one-on-one.
Speaking of one-on-one, here's Degenhart with an ice up.
Good outside.
Yep, they doubled. Keene doesn't want to shoot. Someone has to. Meadow off the baseline. What a move!
In this last 6 to 8 weeks, they really like his length to be able to guard the rim, be a rim protector, and rebound.
Andrew Meadow uses the hook. 1 for 9 from distance. Blinding spin from Meadow. Tip that goes.
A big shot from Thomas. Has struggled tonight, but UNLV's got to get something going on the offensive end of the floor.
UNLV finally breaks the second half seal. We bring 2 to the ball against Cardenas. He'll likely find the open guy. Here's Meadow. Circus shots.
Rollison comes into the game for Nevada, because I thought he had an excellent first half, pushing the tempo, being aggressive, attacking into the paint.
Cardenas had back-to-back buckets in the paint. The dish. Oh, nothing. Momentary numbers for Nevada as Keene hustles back down the floor. And an interception. Then Meadow challenged at the cup and rolls it in.
Kyan Evans, sophomore, a season ago as a freshman, was in the rotation, but with Isaiah Stevens, as Meadow knocks down a corner three.
That's Jorgensen, and he hits it. That's his 10th of the season, so he's comfortable out there.
Terrific execution in regards to ball fake, get that defense who should have been in rotation to pause just long enough to allow him the freedom and space to knock down that three.
Cardenas probing, whipping. And look at the move there by Andrew.
Prepare for, because they run great actions, great sets, and then they play well out of them when things break down. Split actions, back cuts.
8 of 15 is Colorado State from 3 now. Chris Lockett Jr. didn't play a lot in that first half. That's been the best play for Boise State. Get the ball to Meadow.
Dribble drive action, stop, turn your dribble action into post-ups, as well as Neat Clifford, such as on that last play.
Boise State 5 of 15 from distance. Colorado State is 10 of 22. That's a difference in this game. Cardenas hunting. Meadow driving. He's bumped and he scores. There's no whistle.
Washington. New Mexico now with 4 of their last 5 shots being makes. 10 to shoot. Meadow flying high. 14 in this game, all in the first half, helping out that huge rally. Transition.
This is the wizard at the point, Alvaro Cardenas. Degenhardt chases. Andrew Meadow. And one. How about that stunt from Omar Stanley. Chris Lockett boards. Meadow. Exactly what the Broncos want to do on the offensive side. Assistant coach Mike Burns pointed out to us recently, they average a 1.5 per paint touch. When they don't get one, they're down toward a half a point. That's some deep analytics, but Boise State really values Degenhardt touching the basketball. There's 6 to shoot for Andrew Meadow. What a start for him. Quickly, they're one of the most efficient groups in the country. Look at adjusted offensive efficiency. They're a top 50 group of 364 teams. Oh, are you serious, Andrew, to do so at Utah State? He said that had to have been a record.
That's definitely a record for Leon.
He said just when you start to figure out that rotation, somebody gets hurt, somebody plays well, etc. Meadow playing really well.
It's kind of a hybrid between the two. Let's see how the Broncos handle it. Meadow gets caught underneath and gets the ball.
Not known as a low post scorer, more of a lob threat, a diver off the screen. Nice footwork, though, to create an advantage.
Both these teams are really deep. Boise State will play 11. Utah State should play 10. Meadow, corner 3. Contest. Oh, breaking to the bucket. 8 points for Allen. The lead's down to 3. Meadow, that's a big shot for Boise.
The charge. That is what wins you games on the road in conference.
Just made sure that his feet were outside the circle. Meadow pulls his way in, no whistle. Cardenas. Meadow, oh, with 2 hands.
Graduated after having a stellar career for Boise State. And Rich Wayne turns it over. Degenhardt needs some help.
Stay on the topic of Cardenas. Yep. He's one of those players that, because he played at San Jose State, a program that doesn't get a lot of acclaim and struggled to win games, quite frankly, not a lot of people knew about him, but he was the perfect fit in my eyes for Boise State.
That's a great serve, and it's something that obviously a small guard as Thomas should have in his game. Every point guard his size should have in their game, and Thomas is one of the best players in the league at that floater right there. Meadow gets behind the defense.
come to play against Bellarmine, and we are underway. The big 7-footer Dylan Anderson wins the tip for the Broncos. They are in their orange jerseys, moving right to left across your screen. The Cowboys are in their white jerseys, moving left to right. Here's Degenhart, the preseason Mountain West Player of the Year.
You're going to see a lot of middle ball screens with Degenhart and Cardenas. They love that action, especially late in the game, in the shot clock.
Nice pass and a great drive.
Coach Rice comes out in a 1-3-1 just to change things up on the Cowboys following that big three by Buchanan.
Cardenas going against Wills. Outside Degenhart. Degenhart to Meadow. Meadow drives in, goes up strong against Dynamo. Good the floor, playing with 4 fouls. Nesbitt goes up hard. Great D by Meadow. And the Broncos come up court. Meadow playing with 3 fouls. He'll drive in. What a strong play from
They miss. The Cowboys got to get a clean rebound and take it back out on the other end. They cannot keep giving Boise State extra shots.
Meadow for 3, gets it.
Back to live action. Hall to Washington. It was just a 30-second timeout, so we're back to it quickly, and the Spartans were ready. Make it 29-22. Meadow right down Main Street for Stanley. Yap turns the corner, feeling it. Off the side of the backboard. And now the Broncos. Cardenas upstairs to Meadow, finishing at the basket. Option on 2 options, but Boise State, as they did in the first half, continuing to crash the boards. They get the follow. And Stanley now 6 points, 8 rebounds. Meadow flying to the basket. 2-man game. The give. Meadow. Movement is there. The result, everything but the make for the Broncos. But they get the offensive rebound. Lockett again snapping that basketball around the perimeter, and now Meadow. Not how they drew it up. They'll take it. 60-58. Here's Cardenas. Spartans have been doubling the basketball from time to time. It leads to Meadow. Rattles home that 3.
Walker's a big body in there.
Sam Springer, one of the many freshmen on this roster. His second bucket.
Yeah, they've got some really nice young freshmen on this team. These kids came to compete today.
6 for 10 start from the field. Andrew Meadow filling a 6-point game after Walker splits the pair. Javen Buchanan is in the game for the first time for the home team. Transfer from Indiana Wesleyan.
More full court pressure by the Falcons. Broncos twice in a row now had a tough time getting it in. Maybe caught a little bit off guard.
Alvaro Cardenas coming over from an intra-league foe in San Jose State. That'll be the Broncos' next opponent. 8 to shoot for Javen Buchanan. Boy, Meadow has improved nowhere. If you can't get involved on the offensive side, like Taylor hasn't been able to do, he has not scored this game, why not get involved in the defensive end?
Yeah, my guess is he'll get involved offensively.
3-pointers per game made. It wasn't Taylor, but Mills off the mark.
Boy, Taylor's just having a really tough time getting any looks.
Air Force 4 3-pointers made today. comes in weighing at 250 pounds. There are several important big guys on this St. Mary's roster. 2 players over 7 foot, you'll see later tonight. Andrew Meadow to the block. What a year he's having. 6 to shoot for Al. Unimposed. Dylan Anderson scoops up the miss. Talk about unimposed.
It's a surprise to see this happening to them. The size of Washington State's a factor.
Stanley with the block, the save by Cardenas.
This is where he's tough in that open floor. Nice find.
Oh, he knows where Meadow is. Meadow to Keene, back to Meadow. Meadow pull up 3. First one of the day.
He made it.
He got it to go. He's got a
powerful body right into Dylan Anderson's chest. See, I would get Cardenas more in ISOs. Don't bring a double team to him and let him get into the rim and create shots. Because if you bring a ball screen, they're going to double it.
What I've noticed, too, he doesn't get the ball back late in the clock enough.
Meadow from the corner. They've got 2 threes now. He has both.
Drop for Washington State are protecting the rim. That was amazing. But on the offensive end, they're slicing them up on the perimeter and driving and passing.
Cardenas to the corner. Ugbo up top for Lockett. Stanley's got a mismatch down low. He wanted the ball. Now Eric Strupp recovers. Cardenas into the paint. Triple team. Meadow lays it off the front of the rim. A blocking foul is called. Count the.
And then he leads the break.
Yeah, snaking it up. Kicks it off to the left. 3 is no good. Rebound taken out of the air by Degenhardt.
Look at this. They play every trip.
Meadow from the corner. Gives up the 3. Heads to the basket. Off the glass. Count the bucket.
Well, that's the call.
Strupp was wide open.
Wow, they do such a good job on their basic out-of-bounds sets.
How about this battle right here between Calmes and Cardenas?
Got to ride Degenhardt. He's starting to feel a lot better about his game. He's got to move and present a passing lane, though.
He just knocked out a 3. You got to get him another one.
Oh, he had him out there.
Meadow for 3. High arcing shot. It's good.
Press. Tough team to press. Keep looking up the floor.
Oh, not a good pass.
Yeah, Meadow with the steal. Meadow goes up. Oh, that's 5 on Calmes. Both free throws.
Confidence at the foul line. Now they're putting a little pressure on.
You still want to foul. Trying to keep them, make the clock run.
Under a minute to play. Cardenas kicks it to the corner. Meadow for 3. It's good. He fouls it home.
How it would go, but he said Emmanuel just had a tremendous attitude about it. He was on Tyson Degenhardt's podcast recently, and he said, I just love being here. These guys made me feel connected from my visit. And it really helped him get through a season in which he wasn't playing. Dylan Anderson is somebody who can relate to that. Took a red shirt at Arizona. The silky finish from Andrew Meadow for his first. R.J. Keene come up with that rebound. Buchanan, no. Andrew Meadow, no. The follow, yes. Bowie. This is Chris Lockett. Meadow. Bring it up. Last year, shooting 32% coming into this game. Tennessee rainwater, no. Broncos with numbers. Bowie, an open lane. Nope. It's a Meadow triple.
Jones, freshman. Shefflin chases. Meadow boxes him out. Meadow around and down.
Good game against San Francisco. 5 for 7 from the field. Ooh, nice move.
Acrobatic, everything but the bucket.
Get the ball to Buchanan now. He's being very aggressive. Drive on Shefflin. Take him. Going to double him now. He's going to get a foul on Shefflin.
Shefflin playing with 3 fouls. To the corner. Meadow around and in. Front end. Won't fall, but Omar Stanley. Free throw rebound. Meadow. Blocking foul. Count the back. Block shot Omar Stanley. That's what he does in the middle of the Boise State defense. Lead by 11 with 1:11 left.
Little General Cardenas is doing a great job keeping his team together. Great addition to Boise State. Transferring from San Jose State.
Coach Leon Rice was mentioning he hasn't had too many prototypical point guards at Boise State in his 15 years. Meadow, corner, step back, dagger!
Hit a corner 3 to Staunton. Beautiful pump fake. Getting to the rack for an easy 2.
Alvaro Cardenas. Andrew Meadow. Right to the lane. It's a 2-on-3. Wow! The denial from Stanley. Meadow. Bucket. I mean, what more can this guy show you tonight?
Broncos had that early timeout in the second half and tried to slow him down, but
for him tonight.
Film that Mike Burns will not be too thrilled about watching, but viewers tonight are getting a masterclass on the offensive end.
Andrew Meadow to the hole.
Slow your opponents down. You know, sometimes you slow yourself down. Play the way you play and let the chips fall where they might. Meadow with the pump fake gets up, and what a finish! It's in. Well, I like the big fella, his ability, to run the floor. You got to watch him. He really gets up and down the floor, and that's what you want to do if you're a big guy. Put pressure on the defense.
Gets that paint touch and sprays.
A ton of praise on him from his coaches over the offseason. They said he's really improved his low post game. Great exhibition of that on that last play. Andrew Meadow. Bucket from distance.
See if we can see a spark here from the Golden Grizzlies heading into halftime. Get a couple stops and eat into this lead that Broncos have.
Andrew Meadow. Boy, Tim Duryea said he's
just playing the percentages, not trying to gamble or make the hero play. Just play the percentages, and you can see that on the scoreboard tonight.
6 fouls for Oakland, just 2 for Boise State. Andrew Meadow have a first half. Mike Burns in his 8th season. Tim Duryea his 6th on this staff. Roberto Morganson, former player, in his 2nd. Andrew Meadow.
No give up on the Broncos and no easy buckets they're going to let up. And remember the days with some of the boring drills on no turnovers and getting your seat fet from Leon Rice, and you can see the easy dish